Hi everyone, my name is Phoebe. I'm the Inside Sales Executive from Intel. It is our great honors to have Dr. Spencer Kaur, who is the CEO and co-founders of Gorilla Technology, to be our guest speakers in this session. As a 30 years technology veteran, Dr. Spencer Kaur has led the company to become a renowned provider of edge AI video analytics, big data, as well as network security services, solutions, and products which support a wide range of IT and OT applications for retail, enterprise, smart, and safe city initiative. Before we get started, we would like to bring your attention to Intel's notice and disclaimer as projected on the screen. We would also like to share with you Intel's global human rights principle. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Dr. Spencer. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So, would you like to give a brief intro about yourself and about Gorilla Technologies to our audience?
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Spencer Kaur, that's my name. I was the technology leader in Ministry of National Defense before I started the company. Then I funded the company in 2001. And then our technology center, R&D center, and innovation center is based in Taiwan. Our headquarters is also in Taiwan, but we run global operation around different countries across different regions. We take Taiwan as the testing lab. So we run the whole AI solution across safe state, smart city, transportation, retail sectors, all the way to building campus. So our goal is kind of to deliver the most cost-effective AI platform from software over Intel entire CPU, VPU platform, and then in the form of AI appliance and the AI toolkit to global, such that to grow with our partners and then enter all the markets, whichever the customer would like to demand the AI technology.
Wow, this is great. So, can you share us more? What is the Gorilla core technology here?
Yeah, our core technology is based on edge AI across 3 different domains. One is the video intelligence, which is mostly people say video analytic, across 5 different core, which means the human analytic, vehicle analytic, and object analytic, and then behavior analysis, and most importantly is the combination of this one to configure the business intelligence. The second one will be network intelligence, which most people cover talking about cybersecurity across IT and OT, which means from anomaly detections, intrusion detections, behavior detections, all the way to combat the offensive, defensive, joint defensive across critical infrastructures. And then bring all this edge AI data, which is analytics from the edge, generated from the edge across different CPU, and then all the data will aggregate in the big data platform. So the big data is focusing on AI data analytic. And then it's a little bit different from what Palantir and other big data platform is doing. Everyone is focusing on different data, but Gorilla Technology is focusing on AI data. So all the data generated from the edge will aggregate on the big data. So the event and object cross different location, different time. So you will auto-correlate it, and then you will give the real-time analytic, also the historical analytic for a lot of different applications like smart city, predictive maintenance, and then for forecasting, all kinds of different stuff. So it's kind of a life cycle end-to-end from edge AI all the way to edge server on the data analytic, and then produce an AI lifecycle product line.
Yeah, this is indeed our AI trend nowadays. Can
Yes.
you share with our audience what are the Gorilla solutions that has been approved as our Intel MRS and RK?
Yeah, sure. The Intel MRS market-ready solution. We are the early adapter on the AI, especially on the edge AI. Our platform called IVAR. It's very simple to recognize. IVAR is really easy to be remembered. AI in terms of intelligent, video, analytic, and recorder. So all the way from recording to analytic, and then it's all-in-one stuff from recording, analytic, and then the VMS. So it's a single platform, and then across the entire Intel platform from iCore all the way to the Xeon. So that's MRS. And then for RP Ready Kit, which means RK, is pretty much the IVAR Basic and IVAR Premium and IVAR BI, which means the Premium is cover the entire thing across the Xeon the iCore, and then cover different kind of application from smart city to building. And then for BI, especially for retail, banking, QSR, restaurant, hotel, hospitality, that kind of sector, which means they want to know how many people coming in, and then where they're standing, to enhance their business flow, enhance their layout of the retail store, so forth. So it's quite comprehensive. We already certified by Intel. And then most importantly, we run a very, very important benchmark lately, run Intel Tiger Lake processor. So on the Tiger Lake processor, we know we can run almost 50% up than a conventional or last generation or previous CPU. So the Tiger Lake actually driving pretty good the performance. And then we optimize with the latest OpenVINO. So we continuously updated our RK and MRS.
Wow, that's good. We are very happy to hear that, Intel's 11 gens processor is really helps you to boost up your computer vision results and performance. Dr. Kaur, based on your observations on the growth of video analytics market, what Gorilla has been doing to contribute to this key industrial development?
Oh, this is very interesting. I will share two observations from the very, very important market research media. One is Fortune Business Insight. This was showing, the aggregation, the surge of the edge AI market and the growth. So it clearly said the video analytics market will be surged at 21.3 annual growth rate until 2027. And then the key market growth factors, of course, is the government. They want to do smart city, smart transportation, smart harbors, and so forth. And also because of the pandemic, the healthcare or people's health, employees' health, customers' health were somehow impact the other people. So the human analytic is kind of growing really fast across from transportation, airports, and MRT, and all the way to restaurants and resale store as the pandemic is getting control and the people want to get back to life. So another thing is the software automation, because more people working remotely and they want more data coming out directly from the edge. And then the edge has to reply or has to report the real data, which is not programmable. It's analytic stuff based on the CPU, GPU performance. So what the video can see, what the sound can hear, that kind of stuff will generate a lot of different data into the real environment. And of course, the increasing implementation of the solution and demand across private and the public firms, it's very, very clear to see. What Gorilla has been addressing in this Fortune Business Insight is very interesting, similar to Axis. Axis, very, very famous camera company. Axis bringing edge AI software into their camera as the bundled camera into what they call AI camera or smart camera. But what Gorilla's been doing is continuously bringing our Intel MRS, our case stuff, and then marching to next level, because our observation is more people and more demand growing really fast. They want all the data coming out from the edge, but the cybersecurity and the cyber attack, still one thing is kind of blocking everyone to adopt this one. So not only on the network, because we bring in the computing power all the way to the edge. So edge, when they generate the data, the memory is there. So it could be a target to be attacked. So we, last year in 2020, we partnered with the partner, come out of AI appliance, which is a fully secured vision AI appliance, such that we guarantee the data generated inside the edge computing platform is fully secured. And then when it's delivered, it's encrypted, and we monitor all the behavior, that kind of stuff. So that's one, I think, one contribution from Gorilla's development. There's another very interesting report just come out of market in last month from market research, specializing focus on edge AI software industry. So it's clear that it's expected to reach the market size above 1.8 billion by 2026 is purely software. So the application they observe is autonomous vehicles, access management, video surveillance, moving to smart video surveillance, remote monitoring, predict maintenance across different critical infrastructures, telemetry, interfacing with the cars and vehicles and all kinds of different driving motors. And then energy management is another thing. Of course, other stuff like self-service technology. But the key market dynamics, the few things I wanted to address. First, the drivers is increasing enterprise workloads on the cloud, and the rapid growth and the number of intelligence applications. That's just very interesting we observe, and we contribute a lot. For example, from government, the traffic violation, because the carbon dioxide, everyone want to cut the carbon dioxide generation, so they wanted to fully monitor and manage the traffic, no violation, good parking, no traffic jam. So that kind of demand is coming. So not conventional AI, but more of traffic, more of behavior analytic. So, and then the AI demands come more comprehensive and more complicated. But this kind of a demand is rapid growth. And then the good thing about it is the challenging to more computing power. And then in one single video, and then you have to analyze multiple stuff from people, vehicle, behavior, object, and then combination of the algorithm. You have to optimize in a very, very small edge computing, because they don't want to transfer the video all the way to the cloud, because it's energy consuming, it's bandwidth consuming, and then it's not very good to the global climate either, right? So the restraints, but it also come out. It's the privacy and security concerns. Like I just mentioned, cybersecurity, why does privacy and security is concerned? Because a lot of self-service technology, like payment, mobile pay, using facial recognition as a one ID, using license plate as the payment for entering the parking lot, and so many different applications associated with identity, either the physical or the virtual. But the privacy concern and the security is one thing everybody is concerned about it, because we heard too many things about big guys, big cloud. They have their private data, personal data has been stolen, been hacked. So that kind of stuff is really bringing from the cloud all the way to the edge. So that restraint has to be resolved, which Gorilla is heavily devoted into it. The opportunities, of course, for the edge AI software is emergence of a 5G network, which I will share a little bit about that. We are testing the 5G MEC together with the AI, and then how it can bring into smart city, and then different smart factory, different application. So the challenging is coming, the interoperability between the edge. And another thing is Edge AI, it's a standard. Does he have a standard? So everything can be virtualized. So that kind of stuff we also contribute, and I can share a little bit more on that too.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Yeah, I think Doctor has brought up the importance of Edge AI nowadays, right? So, Doctor, can you share more with us on Gorilla Edge AI product lines?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, we said that we started and then we fully committed with the Intel platform. And so from this chart, you can see we started from the very big scope, like end-to-end smart solution, which we're talking about from smart city all the way to transportation. And that we not only have the Edge AI, but also the big data analytics. And then if you come in to how do we bring this stuff to the different vertical easily and with the plug and play concept, with the self-institute, with the DIY concept, it has to come in as a box. So AI is a lot of people talking about a neural network, algorithm. That's something is not very friendly to everyone. It's not everyone understandable. So we committed and then bring this one into a plug and play box, which we started with the IPC, Core I, full scope from i3, i5, i7. Lately, we adopt the Tiger Lake. So we bring this full scope IPC server, MPC server with our Vision AI and with some network security stuff into one plug and play AI appliance. So we provided mobile vision AI appliance, which is the Rocket, or it's a mobile on the vehicle for autonomous drive, for buses, for different MRT, train, so forth. And also we provided Vision AI appliance, which is in-house in the data center, and then grow from all the way from iCore to Xeon. And another one is network protection. Network protection, of course, is not only on the edge, but also on the network. So whole thing is a plug and play. You can plug and play like a putting puzzle together and then bring the end-to-end solution easily to the market. And then we found out another thing is very small, but rather small, but the volume is really big, which is highly associated with the board, with the motherboard, SBC, with the carry board, that kind of stuff. So we run full line Intel CPU and BPU, but at the same time, of course, based on the demand, sometimes customers say, okay, we want to empower a little bit more. So they wanted to have a GPU as well. But that we put our IVA, our video analytic, our cybersecurity and analytic inside the board and then connected to different IoT peripheral and then as a toolkit. So they can bring in toolkit and then to make their own machine as the AI appliance. So if you think about a robot, without a lens, without a vision, without a security, it's just a dumb robot, right? So when we put two cameras in a robot and then with the Intel iCore inside and then with the security inside. So this robot is a self-seeing and it's visualized so he can think, he can move. So this is something we're working with the robot industry. So Intel and OpenVINO give us a platform such that we empower the entire vision into the brain of the any computer or any devices with a computing platform. So that's what we call AI Toolkit. So simplify the whole thing from AI Toolkit to appliance all the way to end-to-end solution. That's our AGI product line.
Wow, this is impressive. So I can say that, Gorilla actually have provide a comprehensive Edge AI product lines to our customer, right? It's just a plug and play things. You can get it from Gorilla, then you can run your AI video analytics. So how about Doctor? Can you share us more about your successful deployment story? I believe our audience would like to hear that.
All right, give you several examples. This is one we call AI Toolkit. Just one example we're delivering, and we'll be exhibiting with our partner Magnica Taiwan and Magnica Japan, and then demonstrate. It's very simple stuff, but it's very unique, very innovative. So elevators and inside the elevator and outside the elevator. Everybody wanted to see, everybody has experience. If we have a full loaded elevator, we don't want this elevator to stop at any floor, right? So if someone, we still have a space, but outside have the queue, and then we can let people coming in. So it can save a lot of energy. It can save a lot of carbon dioxide. So the whole thing is to make the people easier, and then to reduce the electricity consumption. So this one, we use Intel RealSense D455, and then to do the depth in detection. And then we use the IPC with the Tiger Lake processor. And then we use the Edge AI Vision AI appliance. So it runs two different camera. One is RealSense, another one is RGB camera, and then hyper converge. There's two camera, and then running on a very small appliance. And then we do people counting, occupancy, and then make sure this elevator has enough people coming in. And then when it stops needed, it will stop. But when it's full, you will not stop at different floors. And think about it, if in a hospital, someone already have a bed, had a emergency bed with nurses in there. You don't want people to open the elevator every floor. You want this patient be sent to the ICU or anywhere very fast. And then, so that's something we come out together with Magnica, and then from Taiwan, and then we deliver this one. We will expert this one in industry automation show in May and in August, which is happening in Taiwan. And then hopefully we will deliver this one to Japan, Southeast Asia, and then global as a toolkit for all the elevator maker, like Mitsubishi, Hitachi, all the elevator maker. So they can use this AI toolkit to make their elevator smarter. So this is one example. And AI appliance I just mentioned. So I will pass this, this slide. Basically have a 4 different series, like AI screen, which means it measures the temperature, and then to see if you're wearing the mask, and then know who you are, and then to see if you are the employee to enter this office. The other 3 is like the AI appliance I just mentioned, from indoor, outdoor, mobile, and then all the way to the cybersecurity. But this one runs Intel i5, i7, i3, and then all the way to the latest Tiger Lake. The other example is very interesting. We just finished this one with the airport, and then the CDC from Taiwan. They will deploy to airport, train station, restaurant, hotels, and anywhere people were gathering, because the CDC wanted to make sure the space is safe. So this AI appliance is for entrance to provide a thermal mask detection as and a human analytic. So what we use is a thermal camera and RGB camera mixed together, and bringing this 2-string into our AI appliance. So we know in the very big doors, we can detect 4 to 6 people at the same time when you're coming in, and then to see if you wear the mask, if his temperature is normal, below 37, and if it's something not normal, the system will alarm, something like that. So this one runs also Intel i3, and then with the 2-channel and human analytics, thermal mask detection, and of course, OT cybersecurity. So this one has been, the test rate come out from airport, they say almost 100% accurate. So it will be soon deployed. This another one is very interesting. We're delivering to North America, and now we're looking into the Southeast Asia market also. Is for school bus. So school bus, the kids come into school bus, and then the parent want to know all his kids is safe. So they want to know who is entering already the buses when they come into a school or go home. They want to know if their kid is on the bus, but at the same time, the bus is secure. So it's the same, using the same AI appliance, and then put in the buses, 2 different entrance door, and then cross the entire buses. But the challenging is because you will run the real-time data. So it's a 4G LTE enable, and also it has to run very high temperature because the outside temperature could be, very high. And then so it will run rugged, and it's not in the data center. So it run 1 to 5 different channel, human analytic behavior analysis, if the kids are fighting each other, if someone is falling down or is fall down to the floor, it's an emergency. So all kinds of stuff, but of course with OT cybersecurity, because we know who is entering the bus, so we want to maintain the privacy. So this AI appliance is delivered as the end-to-end plugin stuff. So that is pretty much for H. And then this one will be something on the data analytic. I think, Phoebe, you might have some question to ask before I go further.
Yeah, wow. If I were the parents, right, I also need this technology to help me to monitor my children, right? Yeah. So yeah, before we go to the next topic, just now, Doctor has mentioned that Gorilla has produced their own in-house AI appliances. Yeah, can you elaborate more on that?
Okay, so AI appliance, we work very, very closely with the hardware maker, like Vision AI appliance, we certify Dell, Dell EMC, we work with them, we optimize, and then pick up the model, we optimize the whole performance and make sure it's most cost effective, it's a fully rugged and reliable, sustainable, but at the same time, we put our cybersecurity stuff into it. So we do vulnerability testing, penetration testing, and make sure the bugs, the AI appliance is fully protected. And then the performance is good, running full load, the temperature is good, not overheating, everything has been tested, and then as a plug and play. So when we deliver, and then we work with the hardware platform company, go into their global supply chain. For example, Dell EMC, they have 85 countries delivery and the maintenance center. So this will go to the 85 country. But at the same time, we work with Lanner on the NPC. So we work, on the network security from 1 giga to 4 gigabyte, and then all the way to 10 giga and 40 giga throughput on the data analytic. And then we also working on with AD-Link and the Neurosys on their rugged PC for temperature over 60 to 70 degrees. So every appliance we work with them, we work very, very closely. It's like a software and hardware in one factory. And then the testing machine all the way to certification, validation, everything is running in parallel. And then when we finish, we give them our software image as a component. When they deliver, you can consider our Edge AI software is like OS. So when they produce from their production line, our Gorilla Edge AI product is already embedded. So it's embedded on the platform and then ship it with one unit. And then the instruction is clear, but at the same time, Gorilla provide, we call Edge AI Institute. So anyone got this machine, he will activate. So he'll get it, we will activate the license. Once the license is activated, he will log into our Edge AI Institute. They will know how to plug and play and then how to certify, and then we train the people online. So the whole thing is like we help the people to understand how to use the AI across the Intel platform easily, so they don't have to worry about how OpenVINO is working, how this computing power is working. They just plug and play, connected to the camera, done, finish. So they can see the AI benefit directly out of it, because we fully understand how AI is difficult to be implemented, how AI is being science fiction imagine what it can be done. But we wanted to bring the AI into the real life. So we want to make whole thing very, very simple. So that's how we work with the different hardware maker. And then with different, I think the hardware and the Gorilla will be, I mean, the collaboration will be expanding as the demand growing really fast.
I see. So with all the pre-validating efforts that we can really help Gorilla really help customers to accelerate Edge AI video applications across different industry, as mentioned by Dr. Koh, right?
Yes.
So moving to slide 13, we can talk more about AI data analytics server. So yeah, Doctor, would you like to elaborate more on this?
Okay, so as we just mentioned, you see from buses, from buildings, from elevators, all the edge using Edge AI will generate a lot of data, right? So on my experience with one Edge AI i7 with a 4-channel video analytic, in one day, you will probably generate, let's say about a week, you will probably generate at least about a 1 terabyte data. So we talk about a million data point. So those data means how many people coming in, is the gender, is age, his behavior, is a crowding. So a lot of data just keep coming out from different locations. Imagine if you have a one building, you have a 100 video camera with the Edge AI enabled, then you're talking about in 1 week, you're talking about a couple terabyte data. And then all this data are fragmented, are unexpected because you don't know what's going to happen. And then you don't know what the algorithm will come out because you have a behavior, you have a people, you have a vehicle, you have an object, it mixed together, right? And all the attribute coming out. So it's not conventional IT. So it's not a programmable, it's not, it's just unpredictable. So all the data when it's come out, it's a nature of unstructured big data. So when it's coming out, different age, different camera at a different location, different time, collect different event, different object. So it's a fully, if you look into the data, it's a mess. But it's somehow coordinated with the temperate, which means time domain, and the location domain, right? So where is it located? When it's recorded, when it's detected, if this person jumping from camera 1 to camera 10, and he jump across 5 different cameras. So 5 different cameras catch different data. So just take that in imagination. If you cross the city, you talk about 20,000 cameras. And then you talk about 5 million people. And then 1 million cars. How many data you can generate in 1 week? So all this data, how do you do the data analytic for real-time event alerting, for statistic like traffic jam, traffic evaluation, parking space evaluation, all kinds of different stuff, right? Because those data are raw data. Once the data is correlated and then using behavior concept and connected, then you see the full scope of the smart city. You see people is moving, vehicle is moving, data is coming out in terms of data. It's not seeing the video anymore, it's seeing the data. So this is the data analytics servers concept. So you have to real-time collect all this data, calculate it, correlate it, and then bring in different dashboard from real-time all the way to analytic, to statistic, and then to forecasting. What is forecasting? Because you have a different model. You will see time from 8 o'clock to the next 24 hours and every day. So it has a pattern. So the pattern come out, it will have a different model. The different model has to have a very, very high computing power. So the high computing power, we run this only on HCI, which is a hybrid converge the platform. So HIC, when it's doing that, that means we use multi-layer, multi-node computing. So basically, one node could be several core of Xeon. So we bring in at minimum 3 nodes as a one server. So this one server bringing all the data coming together and then correlate it and then generate real-time database, the every profiling and then build up the life cycle and then continuously to build up. So when the data is more, they need more Xeon server. So it's one node plus another node. So you will very, very fast see people is not throwing away those data because in the past, video will be thrown away every 3 months. But once the video is converted into data and the network packet is converted into a real insightful data, this data will come into the big server. And the server is continuously real-time running 24 hours. And then all the data will come in to be a meaningful analysis. So this is what we call AI data analytics server. So we have 3 different kind of stuff. One is purely on video AI big data. We call EVMS, Event Driven Video Management System. And then the other one is investigative AI big data. This is purely for law enforcement agent because smart city, more and more in real-time intelligence, but the law enforcement also need very intelligence to combat the crime. So this investigate AI big data is bringing not only the video data, but also cell tower data, cell phone data, IP data, crime data, and then put together and then to converge. So this is a purely, this is very, very unique heterogeneous database. And then the lastly is we call SCAP, SCAP, Smart City Application Platform, which means it brings all kinds of different IoT data coming in, smart meters, the PM25, CO2, all kinds of different data coming in together with the video, with the cell tower, with the cell phone, the vehicle data, everything coming in. And then it based on the global standard called FireWire, and then it was established by the ETSI from Europe. And then it's a standard which with open API. So everyone can plug into their IoT platform, their legacy database, and then fully leverage this real-time edge AI data, and then to do correlation, to do business intelligence, to do for prediction maintenance, to do forecasting. But of course, because of that, it requires a GPU sometime. The GPU has to put really power. And then what we see here, it will grow into very, very high performance computing platform because the data is growing. To our experience, we run a big customer over here. We run 3 years. It's already 30 to 35 billion data into one database. And then concurrently, we support about 5,000 people real-time access, and the response time has to be less than 1 second. So, and then the data is coming in every day is 20 million data coming in. So you consider that it's a real-time data coming in, processing, but you have to be accessed by a lot of people, and the response time has to be less than 1 or 2 seconds. So that's kind of a stuff the SCAP is doing. So we'll work very, very closely with Intel and then to boost the computing power on this 3-node, multi-node analytical server. Yeah, Phoebe, I think it's very, very interesting to talk about the real application. Lately, we released a few white paper and then clearly indicate the ROI from a customer. The ROI means, you know, they really feel AI can help them and then to solve a lot of different questions and the new troublesome new issues. For example, the first thing I would like to talk about it is Taoyuan Airport. Taoyuan Airport became a little bit famous because it was almost the first one in the world to deploy mask detection in 2019 before the pandemic started. That was the December 2019, and then we started to be asked by CDC, say they found out something from China, there's a COVID, and then they want to do a mask detection. So in 2 weeks, we developed this mask detection, and then a lot of people started watching what Taoyuan Airport is doing. Continuously, Taoyuan Airport started to face new problems because they still wanted to open the gate, and then the vaccines coming out, and then they have a vaccine report, they have the PCR report, they have all kinds of different stuff. So they are hungering of a lot of different service people and then 24 hours. So how can we resolve that problem? So we talked to an airport to say, okay, hey, how about a self-service kiosk and then schedule cleaning, and then such that, and also like a thermal camera detection, mask detection, such that a security guard doesn't have to run 24 hours, 60 stores, stuff like that. So this is like a self-service kiosk. He reduced person-to-person contact and then protect essential workers and passengers to do identification with their passport. Of course, measure the temperature at the same time. Schedule cleaning requests sent to about at 100 user intervals, so we automatic count. If more than 100 people has been using that environment, the system will alert to the janitor to clean this space. So the whole thing running like health environment, safe space, and then they want to still reduce their employee, or they want to reduce their part-time worker, but while they want to sustain the whole airport 24 hours fluence, open to the gate, to everybody. So they want the people feel safe. They want their employee feel safe. They want to hold the whole airport running as casual. So we deploy a lot of the different technology showing over here, like self-service kiosk, not only for passport, but also for many different things in VIP lounge and everything. So this is quite interesting, and we're ready to put this together as an AI appliance, and then hopefully to help other airports as well. Let me see another example. AIS and Lusonica. AIS is a very famous telecom company in Thailand, the largest mobile telephone company. They provide a new 5G services. What we work with them is we work with them branded, customized AI appliance. That AI appliance has a 3-channel and 5-channel video analytics spec, of course, with the cybersecurity protect. And then you will run enterprise security environment, government, and also retail business inside, which means they wanted to help the government to open the transportation, open the building, public building, but also help the retail to open their store. But at the same time, they want to know, they want to not because the pandemic to increase more people and then to increase to jeopardize the health environment. So they want everything be fully automatic, fully real time, and AI enabled. So they want to know how many people walking in, where they stand, and then what they are watching, what kind of goods they are watching, how long they've been there, and then if too many people gathering together, the system will alert. So they will come out to kind of let the people split away a little bit. So they want to fully control the environment, but where the whole business is running 24 hours. So that's from AIS. And then another one is very, the largest sunglasses company called Lusonica. Lusonica owns about 8,000 sunglasses store. He owns almost every important sunglass brand, like Oakley and the Sunglass Hub. All the name branded, you name it, pretty much is owned by Lusonica. So we have already done the first one testing for a couple months. They will spread into all the sunglass store in the next couple of years. And then they wanted to do operation efficiency and a workflow automation. So they want to know shoppers' behavior analysis and understand how their sunglasses is displayed, if it's correct, if it's not the right place, and then how do they put the table such that, or the kiosk, or the signage, or the POS, such that the customer feel comfortable. So it's really customer experience improvement analytic solution. So this is something we already deployed. And another one is very interesting. Just close this project. They will be announcing in the next months. It's the TIPC. It's the Taiwan International Ports Corporation. So it owns 9 different ports across Taiwan. So Taiwan is an island. So only 9 ports. This 9 ports are running by this one company called TIPC. So the challenge is because from different port, and then different port has a container, has the cargo, has the ship coming in, everything, right? So it runs the thousands different camera, but they cannot afford to have a people watch thousands camera 24 hours. But how do we do that? So we bring in AI-based video analytics into it, and we bring in AI data analytics platform into it, and then bring all the way up to command and control, such that they have a room and then a monitor event-driven video analytic and the management platform. And they monitor one side, they monitor the event dashboard, and then another side, they monitor the video, which means has event happen. And then another way, we're working with them to do the command and control. What is that? I mean, they want to control every single disaster could happen. Every important business sectors. So we're working very closely with them to bring in 100 different database, which developed in the last 40, 60 years. And then using those database, bringing our AI data injunction and then correlate it to find out business intelligence, to improve their operation, to improve their business, and then they are marching into 2030 smart harbor, smart port. So they want to catch, they want to be the model of the entire Asia for smart port. So they wanted to see the list carbon dioxide and EMI, and then they wanted to see the green port, they wanted to see the safe port, and they also wanted to see the AI-enabled Industry 4.0 port. So this is the first step. We just finished, and you can see this video showing exactly what is looking at, and then everything you see is real, and everything you see is already in the room. They are building a new building to contain this data, and then so all the executive can watch it 24 hours, understand what's happening, and then how many ships is coming in, and then what kind of cargo is there, and if the traffic jam, the container truck is jamming, or so they want to understand all the issues happening in their business or all potential risk happening in their premises. So they want to fully control, and then they can command. So that's the idea. The next one is the TIPC next generation, we call intelligent transportation system. This, for now, is only for container. But later on, we're going to deploy this one and then expand this one from container to truck, and then to many different, even we're talking about the ships, the big container coming out, the truck, how it connected globally, I mean, the entire nation, because 9 different harbors, and then we have 6 different highway. So can we monitor and manage all the vehicles, all the container, all the cargo, and then the ship? So this is entirely smart transportation system. And then we want to know where's the jam is, why the traffic jam is happening. And so we connect the cargo company, we connect the shipping company and custom company and the government and the harbor, everything into a big database. So the database is conventional. We're talking about hundreds of different databases in the last 50 to 60 years. But real-time data from the edge on the AI generate much bigger data set than the original database. So with this, the challenging is how do you real-time manage billion data and then to support 9 harbor and then support a lot of container company, shipping company, truck company, everyone, and such that they can get the data they wanted and make sure everything is running smooth, no traffic, everything is online, so nobody is have an ignition problem, the car, idle the truck, idle the ship, and they are waiting for hours, and then to exhaust the CO2, and then wasting a lot of resources. So this is the first step. The step we use in the AI analytics on edge, but we also use AI data model, and then for prediction, and then to understand why the traffic jam is there, we come out of different algorithm to control different location, and then to make sure everybody get real time. So the data is smooth, the truck is coming according to the right pace, right time, and then a container is moving. So the whole thing is like a fully automatic robot control concept. But the whole thing is based on SCAP. But of course, at the front, there's many different Edge AI visual appliance already deployed. So that's a first step I'd like to share. Phoebe, back to you.
Thanks again, Dr. Spencer, for your valuable time spending with us today.